Soul Garden.
Hello, Lunar Child, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host of the universe, Christopher Witecki. And hurry up, you've got 1 week left to get me at these amazing prices, not to mention as all my manifestations starts to roll in, God knows if I'll have time for readings. But anyways, 1 hour purchase, you get a free 30-minute follow-up sometime in 2012. So if you've always wanted a reading, let this be the way to know. And come on down to our garden. Your Facebook away from Facebook, or the soul behind your Facebook, at soulgarden.me. We got a whole bunch of cancers and crabs and all sorts of animals in the garden, there to help support you. And we've got a lot of resources, including one of the most fabulous writers on the planet, Mary. I do not try to pronounce her last name, but I just call her Mother Mary, and that works. So come on down, come hang out with all those mothers and fathers. And where are we at? Well, it's a career transit this particular month for the Cancers. We're in the first chapter of Sun in Aries. Uranus is having a lot of influence on our lives, and last weekend you should have had some sort of quantum leap in the way you saw yourself in the context of your legacy. In other words, it was probably one of those moments where you let go of the idea of growing up to be a cowgirl, and you are now officially going to be known as an astronaut. Okay? Something like that. But it's not just a career change. It is what your heart wants to get completed on the earth. So letting go of false legacies was what the weekend was about. Or recognizing that you're in a false legacy. Or recognizing that you haven't pursued your legacy. And do not forget, Cancer, legacy includes the children we leave behind the earth, any kind of scrapbooks, anything. So as we start on Monday, Venus rules the day, offering to restore balance and order to any havoc that might have happened from the grand poobah of realizations about legacy on Saturday. Venus ruling the day brings and restores energy to the idea of career, maybe a particular professional relationship, maybe now you are looking in a new direction, maybe you are starting to think about creative pursuits. All these apply under Venus. The moon is in Taurus, so emotional focus for you is one step ahead, which is not just legacy, but your social reputation. And as the moon crosses Jupiter here, during the course of Monday, you're going to really feel your reputation expand, maybe your prowess on earth, maybe your social circle, or maybe you're just feeling your potential expand. This soul pyramid wraps up this week, incidentally, and will continue pushing forward. This is you moving away from the old marriages. The red line between the two means you have fear of stepping away from the old relationship paradigm. Even though it might be smarter, still hard for a Cancer to let go. Still much harder for a Cancer to let go. And this grand trine as well is pointing out where you have to work in the direction of Mars retrograde. Which means a lot of your attitudes, a lot of your decisions, a lot of things you were thinking, you're going to rethink or come up with new conclusions. So this is the force of the week. Moving on to Tuesday, it's a cloudy day. Neptune rules the day. We log into our higher self. It's a day of intuiting what's going on in our life. It's a way to kind of get a sense of what to do next with career, where to point next with career. I think we're still getting an understanding of the big context you've stepped out of, stepping out of one legacy and opening up to a potential. I think we're processing that for a long time. But still, these two lines here is what I call a yad. A yad is the finger of God. So yes, God does occasionally give you the finger. And in this case, it is pointing at what we need to pay attention to in this sector. Now technically this isn't a yad, really, because it should be at one point, but I think it still has the effect of a yad. What it's saying for Cancers is, as you move forward with complete new ideas of legacy, you're going to think backwards on what the meaning and purpose of your life is. Last month's transit. So you're going to be replaying meaning and purpose and going forward with career and legacy, and that is the yad that's in place for the next couple of days. There's more to come up. The moon does shift into Gemini on Tuesday, further clouding your day because emotions go underground. You'll be doing inner weeding, basically emotional weeding, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Today's the first day of it, but today's the most gentle of the days. Incidentally, if you need a little help, don't forget about office hours. Our Soulmart office hours is a special world service at 11 a.m. Pacific time worldwide. It's live at that time, 11 a.m. Pacific. our soul practitioners come in and give free advice. So you can even come in on an iPhone app now if you want to come in, if you don't have a webcam. So come check it out. Come hang with us. Come chat. Even I'm in the chat room usually cracking jokes. Then as we move to Wednesday, Saturn rules the day. That means it's time to make decisions. Since we're in Chapter 1, in this case, it's what we don't want. So Cancers are working on the career you don't want, the legacy you don't want, and decisions about making decisions. From now on, when you decide, you're going to include these qualities. Decision-making itself as a human condition is part of what you're upgrading. Part of the false legacy was probably false decision-making or inferior decision-making processes for you. You weren't including enough in your decision. So decision-making alone might be part of it. At the same time, you're also making a new decision in the Mercury retrograde where you're thinking and rethinking of what purpose is. So it's a decision to step away, and it's a decision to recalculate purpose on Wednesday. The moon's still in Gemini, still stirring the weeds. Then on Thursday, Mars rules the day. It's time to take action and move forward with what you have decided. Notice the red lines. Not only are we moving forward, but we're breaking through fears on this particular day. This fear finally comes to a freaking apex. 9 degrees, 9 degrees. So finally, you're going to get over the fear of stepping in a new career and what that means to your marriage. On the other hand, with the moon in Gemini, a lot of fear of actually making the leap, changing the boundaries, crossing the line, people finding out you did cross the line. All of that is the emotional that goes into this. But Thursday is an action-based day. It's about courage. It's about just doing it. Don't think, just do it. We'll be talking about that. Now, for those of you who are watched over personally by the Guardian Agency, we'll be putting out personal texts on Thursday that go back to your natal chart and talk about your own courage story. What is your hero story? What is your courage story? I'll get to the bottom of that to help inspire you to take action on Thursday. Then on Friday, it is time to go opposite. What do I mean by that? Well, look at this. Just 3 days later, God goes from giving us the finger this way to giving us the finger this way. We have a yod going towards Saturn now, and this yod is saying, okay, now that we're doing all these changes, now that you're stepping into a career legacy, now that we're doing all this, why don't we take a quick look at home and family and do some improvements? So Saturn retrograde is going to have you to relook at home family, relook at the way you take care of yourself. If you're going to change legacy, you've got to change, you know better than any other soul, what is supporting the legacy. It is the Cancer behind the man or woman that makes them a success, right? Well, now you must be a Cancer behind your own success. And so Saturn retrograde and the yod is putting some heavy influences for you to do that. The moon is shifting now into Cancer on Friday, so you're feeling pretty good. Sunny and cool will be where you are. You've worked through the weeds, and you'll be sunny and cool and pretty happy from Friday through the rest of the weekend. So it's going to be a good time there for you. And this square is now starting to break and will break. Now don't forget, on Fridays we've got SG Live starring Carolyn Nagel and myself. We're going to be talking live on Web Talk Radio, and this is streamed right onto the mothership. Our topic is courage and strength. We've had Bernadette Morgan, our Zodiac Director of Aries, as our guest over from Europe, and you can come find out more about what it's like to be in the head of an Aries and how you get that courage to work for you. So don't miss it, Cancer. Could be useful in your career. That's 11 a.m. Pacific time. And if you can't make it into the live chat room and watch the show with us, well, we do record it. Then over the weekend, we kind of shake loose on Saturday. We're shaking off the karma like a wet dog getting rid of water. That's really what's going on with all this stuff, if you ask me. God giving us a finger one more time, telling you to look at your childhood, look at your home family, look at your self-nurturing topics. This soul pyramid breaks. Notice the green line is gone between the two lower planets that we've seen for, what, 2 months now, it feels like? What that means is these planets that break free, they do kind of a shake. It causes little spiritual earthquakes in the client's lives. So a minor spiritual earthquake going on here with your reputation as you break free, minor spiritual earthquake with mind games with Mars shaking free. Both those planets will be making quantum leaps in the next couple of days. Now they're free of this grand trine. Chiron rules the day, so it's a day of finding synergy, finding peace. Through shaking all this, it's almost like a reset. And really, this is the last grand transit that we're going to have for some time. We've had nothing but grand transit for the last 6 weeks. This is the last little break, so thank Goddess for that. Then Sunday, it's really a jovial day. It's kind of like we have shaken things off. The flowers have come up. You're really starting to feel spring. This will be there. It's like, wow, I can feel spring coming. It's that vibration. Jupiter rules the day. It keeps things pretty honest, keeps things pretty optimistic, and that's the whole point. Thinking of your career in new terms, in broader perspective, and greater horizon. And the moon moves into Leo, so emotions do shift out of ego, charisma, and now into soul capital. So Sunday's a productive day. It's a valuable day. It's a fun day. It's a great day for you to think about how to make money if you want to put career and money together. All right, Crabs, that's all I have for this 7-day forecast, but I'll see you online in SG Live, all these places, or right here again in 7 days. Until then, live, love, be.